Hey, 93. I just wanted to spend a few minutes talking with you about the relationship between Binah or Saturn in your chart and Venus or love in your chart and in your life. So, specifically, this is about the astrology of self love and whether you have Saturn making some challenging aspects in your birth chart, or whether that you have some Saturn transits that are challenging, that are going on now, or have gone on in the recent past. I just wanted to call your attention to the relationship between Saturn and self-love. So folks who have Saturn either in their first house or somehow making a difficult angle, especially, but not even sometimes an easier angle to the ascendant or the rising, or to the moon, or to Venus, or the sun, especially the sun. There's a lot of different ways in which we can feel a lack of love in our lives, and as well, when Saturn transits some of these planets, so whether it transits your ascendant, your midheaven, your sun, your Venus, again, your moon, those are moments in which there's a contraction. And a lot of times, things manifest externally in a difficult manner. And what the basic action of Saturn is, I've said this before, is it's bringing your law to bear. So I, look at every Saturn transit as an opportunity to refine myself in regard to whatever is being touched. So, for example, if it's the sun, it's my self identity. If it's the moon, it's how I nurture and love, and, or I should say, nurture as like love like a mom. So, how I um, care, and whether that's for myself or other people. If it is with Venus, it has to do with my relationships. It's helping me refine what do I really truly value, and kind of allowing certain things, that certain ways of being that I've had in the past, to pass away so that something else can come up. If it's my ascendant, then we're talking about the way that I've been presenting myself, the way that I've walked in the world. Is there a way that I can refine? Are there lessons I'm learning right now that help me refine my mask so that I can better channel the true will through my incarnation? Or Mercury, Saturn and Mercury. Are there ways of thinking that have hindered me up until now, that I'm now required? I'm sort of having to bear, the troubles that I've caused through that because of external events. And with this Saturn transit to my Mercury, and now I am changing the way I think, refining it to be more positive regarding being able to channel my will. So, in all of these cases, I want to relate this to the idea of self love, because Saturn is our form, Saturn is our structure. Saturn is what makes you uniquely who you are. And as such, you are God or goddess, you are channeling the true will in a way that only you can do, but you can only do that when you're true to that structure. And so Saturn is a planet of individuation. It's a planet of refining, who really basically away the impurities, purifying yourself, becoming more in line with your own law. And that requires love. In other words, if you love yourself, you can you can do that what you came here to do, but only if you love yourself. If you are afraid, Saturn oftentimes talks about where we have fear. If you're afraid in certain ways, then you might not have the courage to just be who you are. You might be hanging on to certain people's approval. You might be hanging on to certain notions of material security. You might be hanging on to things not changing, basically staying the same way that they were. Um, you might be hanging on to uh, things that seem to give you emotional satisfaction, but really are hindering you, because they're actually compromising your ability to be who you are at base. So Saturn is not only a challenge to all kinds of areas of our life, but it's a challenge to love ourselves. Um, People who have natal Saturn in difficult relationships to their personal planets or ascendant may already struggle with loving themselves. They may be very serious. They may be having a hard time feeling like they can let go. And so there is a challenge to, in general, to loosen up, lighten up, let go, be who you are, enjoy the process, enjoy the person that you discover, because you are lovable. One of the biggest principles that I have experienced and that I, have to offer as a through that experience basically is that your angel, your angelic self desires you. It's like a lover that's been just waiting for you beneath your balcony or whatever for all this time. Maybe you've been in your room weeping, feeling lonely, so to speak, or feeling like you're going it alone. Meanwhile, there's this beautiful angel who is also you, who is desiring you just passionately, just waiting for you. And all you have to do is turn your head and kiss that angel, and you'll be one with that deepest self of yourself. And Saturn is a road back to that angelic self. And so, please love yourself when things are not going your way. Maybe it's time to take a look at who you really are and actually have the courage to love who you really are.